Hey, salut tout le monde, Monsieur VDR, le Mike, comme tout à l'heure, comme d'habitude. J'espère que ça va. Chez vous, ici ça va plutôt pas mal, donc on est...
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon. The weapon fully
Ta
penetrated the
gueule.
body. The force of... This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey. These abbreviations mean something, but what? Someone drank from this glass recently. The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
On dirait l'arrière d'un bateau, la feuille.
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Ah bah ça, il connaît tous les tabacs, Sherlock. Tous les types de cendres de tabac, mon gars.
Rum, a sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
Et c'est pas un truc inventé par la série qu'il tient un site de cendres de tabac, machin, tout. Dans les vrais Sherlock Holmes de l'époque, de 1880 par là, quand ça a été écrit, quoi. Il connaît toutes les sortes de tabac, de cendres de tabac et compagnie. De toute façon, là, ça c'est celui-là. Je l'avais sur ordi, mais je l'avais pas encore fait. Mais je peux vous dire que... Enfin, je peux vous dire. Celui-là, je l'ai eu du coup là en précommandant Chapter 1 qui sort le 16.
Peter Carey was her captain.
Qu'est-ce que tu veux voir ici? Pas du tout. Curieux aspect vide.
The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Ok. Faut tendre une embuscade
Someone
pour
was
ce
here
soir.
yesterday.
Enquêter sur le maire, organiser une embuscade avec l'Estral. Ok. Attends 2 secondes. Sweden.
Hammerfest.
Attends, j'ai pas tout examiné de cette carte? Qu'il est encore blanc le...
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Oh, shit. Hammerfest.
Dundee. It's a whaling map.
Là. Lestrade, on va faire une embuscade.
Well, Mr. Holmes,
C'est moi qui
what do you
explique
think?
son boulot,
I
quel boulot il
think
doit
that we
faire.
are lucky
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is
What?
very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha. So what do you propose?
Bah, une
We
embuscade,
shall
connard.
remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Et du coup?
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Le malade mental. Mentally ill. I'm gonna catch this guy. And this is the one. C'est celui qui a une couille parce que je me rappelle, j'avais fait le début du jeu, il me semble, et
Shh. Did you hear that?
je crois qu'il s'appelle Noah machin ou je sais plus, genre. Et c'est les empreintes de ses bottes qui matchent parfaitement
I'm gonna
avec
collar him.
les
I'll
traces.
be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there. Mr. Holmes. All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here, waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
You can't.
Enough! You can explain all of that to the judge.
What a
You're coming with
British
me to the
accent.
yard.
A
But
British
In
accent.
light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary.
And a lot of
All the same,
recent events.
I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
I'm very
You
grateful.
are welcome, Inspector. But
I'm
please
very
don't be too hard
I'm
on our young fellow.
very,
I would like to
very
question him tomorrow
grateful.
morning.
I know the Queen. Some R's. Rolls the R. Rolls the R's. The R. Rolls. The letter R. R. With my beautiful Frenchy accent. Frenchy accent alors. Tâche, ta, 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 ta. Evidence room, c'est où evidence room? Morgue, non. Ça doit être là. Evidence room.
These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. These abbreviations mean something, but what? A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin. A handkerchief with the initials JHN.
Ah, c'est pas lui le jardinier là. Si?
From
R.
R. Dawson.
Dawson to my friend and partner.
And partner, 1883.
Et associé, d'accord. Parce que quand j'ai vu partenaire, je savais pas si c'était partenaire, partenaire
These
de
abbreviations
life,
mean
tu vois.
something, but what?
What should I do now? Enquêter, c'est que... Bah, je les ai regardés, les affaires de
These are the
John.
suspect's belongings. To my friend, Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Constable, bring me John Madigan in an interview in room.
Mr. Holmes?
Well, I need to speak to Nelligan, guys. Oh, no, he's already here. Fine. D'abord, on va le regarder.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner. So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let...
Si un homme sans expérience ni aptitude particulière est capable de traverser une cible de part en part avec un harpon. Expérience, on va acheter des porcs, tu vas voir.
I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Ah, Watson, se préparer à l'expérience de harponnage. Je suis sûr qu'on va tirer sur des porcs. Je connais Holmes, hein, à moins qu'il dégote des vrais cadavres, ça m'étonnerait pas de lui. Imagine, il va s'acheter un cadavre, parce que à cette époque-là, on peut très bien s'acheter un cadavre. Et pour tester vraiment sur l'humain, tu vois, ce que ça ferait, et hop, il tire des harpons comme ça. Où sont mes archives, Watson? Watson! Les archives, Watson, les archives!
My analysis table. It is useful for my work. A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No. But we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
Ah oui, c'est vrai.
Goodness for that.
Sur...
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let
Je
us
me
pay a
rappelle
visit to our
parce que
butcher
je l'ai
friend
sur
in
PC,
Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed
genre
And the
Sherlock
harpoon?
contre Jack
one of the
l'éventreur.
harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
Une Peter's cabin. Et de 1... Peut-être 2, 3, 4... Voilà, comme ça pour une prochaine club tout à l'heure. Faut aussi que je parle à la veuve. Camée. Elle est camée. Garde de jardinage. Ah oui. Ah non, camée. Elle est pas camée. Elle est pas camée. Je suis complètement con. Camée. C'est ça. Ouais, mais à l'époque, c'était petit.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Thank you, madam.
Mais tout à l'heure, j'avais blague à tabac. Carrie ne fume pas. Récupérer le calepin. Tentative d'effraction visait à récupérer le calepin. Ah bah oui, je suis con. Si ça, je le sais, j'aurais très bien pu les lier comme... Enfin, bref. L'auteur de ces tentatives pourrait très très bien être le meurtrier. Attends. Indice.
That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Normal, on va à la boucherie pour faire ça, tu sais.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To
Ouais,
indulge
tu préfères
myself in an
l'odeur des
experiment.
morgues.
The challenge
Parce
of
que
lancing a
t'es
pig's
médecin,
carcass with a
hein, et
heavy
à cette
harpoon.
époque-là, médecin, ça
A
m'a dit ça le
little
truc. Hein.
experiment.
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise.
Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
Connais, Watson. Putain, attends, j'ai un nœud là sur mon... Sur le truc de mon casque. Attends, là on n'est pas...
The harpoon has struck the body, but with insufficient strength to pierce it straight through. Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
Ok. Oh! On pourra pas faire mieux, je crois.
This is the best possible result that I could get.
Sur la
Do you
barre
see, Watson?
et transpercé.
Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well,
Bah,
yes.
le lancer,
Let us leave
mais
now.
tu peux très bien
But before we
forcer
go,
comme une
I
lance.
suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses. you
Genre
happen to remind me.
l'empaler avec... Genre,
Very well, please hurry.
tu forces,
course.
tu vois, de l'autre bout, t'es pas obligé de le lancer en l'air, tu vois, comme un javelot, le truc. J'aime bien ce jeu. Et je te dis pas, là, le chapter 1... Ouais, c'est comme ça que ça s'appelle.
My
Sherlock
analysis
chapter
table.
1.
It is useful for my work.
Ça va être une dinguerie. Une dinguerie. Faillite du fonds d'investissement Dawson et Nelligan. Nelligan introuvable. Le fonds d'investissement Dawson Nelligan, institution bancaire originaire de Cornouailles, s'est déclaré en faillite. S'est déclaré en faillite. Il n'y a pas de T pour la lésion. Suite à de lourdes pertes dans son portefeuille de prêts. Il sera par conséquent procédé à sa liquidation. C'est la 23e plus grande banque de Grande-Bretagne et la 2e plus importante faillite de l'histoire. Pour bon nombre de familles des Cornouailles, la liquidation de la société est une catastrophe pure et simple. Joshua Nelligan, l'un de ses banquiers, a depuis mystérieusement disparu. Il a été vu pour la dernière fois à bord de son voilier, se préparant pour partir pour la Norvège. Monsieur Nelligan est recherché par la police ainsi que par ses créanciers.
Here it is.
Here
Now I
it
begin
is.
to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
To the yard. It is now time to ask him. Putain, je sens que j'ai déjà l'envie de pisser qui vient, c'est incroyable. Ce monster là, c'était pissé. Lui il a pas bougé, il est là depuis le début.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Dans ce cas, je vois plus deux bonhommes faire le coup. Si lui il est connecté, le jardinier là aussi. Enquêter sur le meurtre de Ptit, le journal de 1980 entre Nelligan et Carey. Ok.
(1883). That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Équipage du Cynic, Peter Carey, Charlie Ellison.
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR. A torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere. There are 3 ways of discovering what log notes for July. Nothing special.
Attends. À utiliser ce type de créance émis par la Canadian Pacific Railway. C'était arraché d'août. 83. Pour Wiggins, les journaux de bord. Enquêter sur le meurtre, inspecter. Wiggins. Petit tour à Baker Street alors. Pour trouver Wiggins.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they're still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they're cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
And the red
Sorry to
lights
trouble you,
are.
Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be
Red
there shortly.
light, huh? I get this accent. So cool.
Good gracious, you caught someone. At least now you have a suspect.
What? Enquêter. L'Estrade a de nouvelles infos. En plus, j'ai vu, on a, enfin, moi, tous ceux qui sont intéressés, on a tous vu les images de Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. Il y a des combats, enfin des combats, des petites séquences de combat, t'as un pistolet. T'enquêtes sur les meurtres, tu peux faire prendre plusieurs positions au tueur ou au machin, c'est dans la position du truc, machin, enfin, ça a l'air trop bien.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
Breathtaking. You're breathtaking. No, you're breathtaking, can you? You're breathtaking, can you? No, you're breathtaking, Sherlock. What's that? Hurtley.
These are the suspect's belongings. Liam Hurtley's old boots.
Liam Hurtley, c'est lui.
The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals. A pen. Nothing unusual about it. please escort this suspect for interrogation? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely. And considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you, but you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see.
Mouchoir à mésange huppé. Débris végétaux.
That's all for now.
On va aller enlever l'encre. Si je me rappelle bien de comment faire le produit chimique.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third
Orange,
condition,
le troisième dans la
reagent
séquence
should be
s'appelle le
added after
bleu.
the orange reagent.
L'incolore devrait être ajouté après l'orange. Donc, si on fait bleu, vert, bleu, orange, parce qu'il dit que l'orange il est après le bleu dans la séquence. Orange. Donc là tu fais bleu, vert, bleu, orange, incolore, orange, incolore. Donc, bleu, vert, bleu, orange, putain ça va être ça. Ça a toujours pas foiré.
Done. Now I can proceed further. Let us see if the content of this letter sheds a little light upon the mystery. I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this? Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Interrogation.
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry.
Sur le cul, hein?
Special.
Well, you're a smart one. But it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that.
My
Mr.
work,
Hurtley.
see.
That's all for now. Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Thank you, madam. Locked.
Who could do so? Who?
Faut que je le relie à ici, ce mec.
These boots don't match the footprints. These boots match the footprints exactly.
Ok, donc c'est Hurtley, c'est pas l'autre. C'est pas Nelligan qui a laissé les traces. L'autre elle dit qu'elle a pas de jardinier, mais j'ai la preuve que le mec il est venu ici.
Who could do such? Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Locked. These are the suspect's belongings. I wonder if these are connected. Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished,
$250,000 livres. 250 000 livres. Putain, mais à cette époque, c'est des millions. Documents manquants.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belong to my family, but I could not find them there.
That's all for now. Well, I will see you soon, young man. Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Interrogation.
Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes,
Ah,
I am a
regarde,
gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads, but now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee. Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Thank you, madam.
Putain. Excusez-moi, c'est qu'un monster de 25 centimes que j'ai vu. Truc de ouf.
Let's see what could be hidden here.
Oh là, le sol, il est bizarre.
Let us see what is in this box.
Ok. Ouais, c'est pas compliqué celui-là.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
Hurtley et Madame Carré, ils baisaient, c'est ça? Ouh, votre Charlie, vous m'avez couvert de vos bontés. Je ne saurais évoquer mes sentiments, mais je les tiens pour sacrilège et néfaste. Je crains que le pire n'arrive, je crains l'offenser Dieu et d'écarter les cuisses pour me... Je vous remercie de vos grands soins, et je ne peux abandonner l'homme à qui j'ai été uni devant l'Éternel, et par sa volonté divine, mon époux et ma croix. Il fait de ma vie un enfer, mais il est nul échymoses qu'ils ne finissent par s'estomper. Oui, par exemple, ici là-bas, c'est génial. De grâce, ne vous inquiétez pas pour moi. Allez hop, on va voir Arte là, il commence à nous prendre pour un con. Vous vous tapez, madame Carré, monsieur Triangle, et ça va pas du tout.
I'm not saying another word. I'm not saying another word.
Mais il se fout de ma gueule, lui. Il a le droit de faire ça?
I'm not saying another...
Non, on va aller voir ta maîtresse. I'm not saying another word. Ouais, ben on va voir alors. Alors madame, pas bien tout ça, hein?
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you,
Non,
madam.
notre
I wonder if
vie.
Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see.
Deux minutes, hein, je roule une clope en même temps depuis tout à l'heure, là. Depuis avant qu'on aille... Avec Ptit, James Lancaster, Cairns, Talbot.
This is interesting. Let us review the other sailors now. This is interesting. Let us review the other sailors now. This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch. Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairns.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
De Guinée. Je sais pas qu'est-ce que ça fait de Guinée, parce que tout le temps, à cette époque-là, je les entends parler de Guinée. Alors, je sais pas si c'est une façon de parler, ou si c'est des centimes de livres, ou je sais pas. Je connais pas assez bien l'histoire d'Angleterre, malheureusement. Même si je la connais, enfin si je connais quand même, je connais pas bien, quoi. Malheureusement, parce que j'adore ça, moi. L'Angleterre, c'est surtout de cette époque-là, son époque préférée. Carrie ne fume pas.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor. Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
To the sewage. Coché. Oui, bah, attends, pendant 2 secondes. Le gars, il traverse Londres comme je... Il met moins de temps à traverser Londres que moi pour faire une dizaine de mètres pour aller pisser un coup. Dans le moment, le tabac il va sécher, alors je vais le rouler. Et merde! Où est-ce qu'il est tombé ce carton là? Allez, c'est parti. C'est lequel?
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling and arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
I've had enough. You're too strong.
Come back later, when you can use your arms again.
I'm ready to try again.
Fine, if you want me to take all your money. Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, I find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner? Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I've sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar, and violent too. Swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant, and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in a dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I don't know. On the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. All this must stay between us, all right?
Of course. Back in a second. I'm off to the Kazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Here it is. Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
Confirmez votre choix moral. Si ça se trouve, c'est pas lui le meurtrier.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was Liam Hurtley.
That doesn't surprise me. I've never seen a guiltier-looking fellow.
He was in love with Judith Carey. It caused a conflict that proved fatal for her husband.
I see. Come on now, let us confront him.
Liam Hurtley, you are formally accused of the murder of Peter Carey. We are aware that you were in love with Carey's wife. He was a violent and irascible man. He needed to be eliminated. You had no qualms.
But that's absurd. I'm innocent.
Well, we caught you, lad.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer? You met... You...
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam.
Je suis plus sûr. Enfin, pour moi, c'est plus lui que l'autre.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Holmes, could you explain it to me?
As I informed you on our way here, Patrick Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we were out looking for him?
That would be futile, as he will be with us in approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, well, if this is your idea of humour...
No, I just heard the front door. Prepare yourself.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain Ahab. Am I at the right address? Is he here?
Indeed, it is the correct address. But in place of your captain, may I present to you Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard?
That means...
It means, my friend, that you are arrested for the murder of Black Peter.
What? What? A trap? You think you can take me?
Here now. We'll have none of that.
And I say that we will.
Oh, le con.
Oh, did he escape?
Yes, unfortunately.
I thought you were good at boxing, Mr. Holmes. Apparently there's still room for improvement, eh?
How's your jaw, Inspector?
Oh, it's fine. Mr. Holmes, all this is your fault. You should have warned me. I would have come with reinforcements.
If that had been the case, then Cairns wouldn't have come here.
Well, maybe. I'm going now, Mr. Holmes. I'll put out a search. This scum won't get far.
L'énigme du train fantôme.
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes. As your friend and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, Brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is.
You
The
need
one we're going to
cocaine
visit.
and heroin.
He is a bee lover.
And
A
it
bee
will
lover.
be delightful.
But you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
Mycroft.
Sherlock.
Oh, Mr. Holmes? Perhaps you don't remember me. I'm Dr. Watson. We met at the Diogenes Club a few years ago. I documented our encounter in a short story I gave the title The Greek Interpreter.
He does remember you, Watson. My brother remembers everything, and that is why he is so valuable to the government.
We're about to depart for the train station.
I know.
You know?
Sherlock, I need your help. There are people who presently threaten both our country and the Crown itself. You must help us with those methods of yours.
Need? Help? Those are not words I would readily associate with you, Mycroft.
I wrote you a letter, but you did not reply. And this is not about politics. It's about people. People similar to those whom you pretend to defend in your petty detective affairs.
Everything is about politics with you, Mycroft. I'm not interested. Have some of your agents, your spies, or worse, undertake this job of yours. You are defending your people, and they have little to do with the people I choose to help, I can assure you.
That's the point. You think exactly as they do.
Who are they?
The Merry Men. He is talking about the Merry Men, a band of idealistic terrorists.
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further...
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary. Dr. Watson, the train conductor, Mr. Parker, is aware that you will be 7 minutes late. You are in the 4th car. The train will be waiting for you. Sherlock, enjoy your time in Staffordshire. And do, please, at least write to me on your return.
Watson, I'll hold a cab for us. We leave in 5 minutes for the station.
De quoi, une semaine plus tard? On a passé une semaine dans le train, là, c'est ça?
What a gloomy night. It was warmer inside the waiting hall.
Since the station master told us that the train is about to arrive, we should not have to wait very much longer.
Yes, at last.
Attention! The train is arriving at the station. Please stand well away from the platform edge.
I'll take your bags and your blasted archive suitcase. But, Holmes, the headlight, it's faded away.
Something is wrong. I can't hear any sound from the incoming train.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain what has happened?
I don't know. It's as if the train vanished into thin air.
Holmes, say something.
Quick, fetch a lantern and let us take a look.
It's too dark. Only fog and rails, nothing else.
There is no use in stumbling around here at night. We will come back tomorrow. Well,
Putain,
here we
j'aurais
are
condamné
again
la
at
mort
Evesham
innocente
Station.
tout à l'heure.
We have a full day ahead. Let us begin our
Si elle
investigation.
peut changer d'avis, quoi. Respecter la scène. Quelle scène?
Trains can't just vanish without leaving a trace. It isn't possible, is it, Holmes? This is the place where we saw the train vanish last night.
Railway sleepers. Nothing unusual. There are no tracks or footprints on the ground. The rails have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here. A discarded item, possibly thrown from the train. There are no signs to indicate that the train ran off the track, nor are there any other traces. There is nothing whatsoever. There are no clues. But then, a negative result is also a result.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. No clues and you're smiling.
Yes, Watson, I do smile on occasion. This mystery appears very promising. This investigation won't be simple. We shall require a map of the region.
Perhaps the station master could lend us one.
Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I remember you. I'm Station Master Everett. You were here last night. So, you are Mr. Holmes, the great detective. Will you be investigating what happened?
I shall indeed.
It is extraordinary that an entire train could disappear like that. And to think of all the poor people inside it, the passengers, the driver.
The driver. The driver. The driver. The driver. The driver, sir. Cheveux gris, j'arrive à lire.
I would be glad to have a detailed map of the local railway district.
But of course, please, take the one that's pinned inside the waiting hall.
Could you please give us any details about the train?
Well, there was nothing so very special about it. At least not that I can recall. My memory's not what it used to be. However, if you need it, you can have the train composition report. It's inside my office.
See you later, my good man.
My good man.
a new telegram.
I think we should meet this Mr. Robinson. Here is the train set. A telegraph. This map will be useful. According to the train composition report, there was a special wagon. What does that entail?
That's a highly secure car, ordered by a private party. It is generally to carry something of value. Those wagons have iron walls, you know, without any windows. And they're fitted with a complex key lock.
That is important information. Do you know what was inside this particular wagon?
Certainly not. No, that's private. And it's not my responsibility to allot the wagons to whoever.
Was there anything exceptional about any of the passengers aboard the train?
What do you mean? Like officials? I wouldn't know. Oh, but now that you mention it, yes, there was something. There was a message from Bridlington station saying that the train had been delayed because of an issue with the passengers. But what kind of problem that they didn't say?
That is interesting. You mentioned a problem at Bridlington station. I should like to visit this station. Could you mark it on the local map?
Of course. It's a suburban railway station. You might take a cab there.
See you later, my good man.
My good man. My good man. See you later, my good man. Bridlington station. Train station.
This is an absolute scandal. It's always the same with these rail
Scandal.
companies. No respect for the customer.
This is an absolute scandal. Oh putain. Commence à fatiguer, tonton. Alliance, Manani, habit de travail et 2 5. Alors, Alliance, mergueuse. Billet de deuxième classe.
Please calm down,
What
sir.
happened?
What is your concern?
Concern? What is my concern? I'll tell you what my concern is. Last night I were on the train as usual with my colleague, heading home. Then along came this ridiculous ticket inspector. who started arguing that our tickets were invalid. He made us get off the train, and he was extremely rude about it.
Were you aboard the train that vanished last night?
Yes, I heard that it disappeared. But I don't care because we would have stopped before then anyway. Our tickets were valid and no doubt about it. And then, to top it all, the ticket inspector pushed everyone else out too, except for a bunch of rich. Well, because their type don't need a ticket.
Can you recall anything more specific about this fortunate group?
Well, yes. They were all foreigners. Spanish-looking toffs with snake eyes.
Goodbye, sir.
The whole train just disappeared.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day. To whom am I speaking?
Good day.
My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is...
Are you a representative of this damned railway company? Because I have a complaint.
We are not from the railway company. We are...
Well, in that case, Mr. Shamrock Flomes, please excuse me.
Shamrock
but I'm not in the mood for
Flomes.
idle chit-chat at the moment.
Bastard. What do you think you're talking about, cowboy?
You must be Mr. Robinson, is that correct?
Yes?
I am leading the investigation of the disappearing train. It would help if you could answer my questions.
Ah, well, all right. I have nothing to hide.
I presume it was you who placed the order for the special wagon.
Yes. It was to transport my valuable prototype safely to London. My prototype is a revolutionary device. It is capable of producing electricity. I'm a businessman and an engineer. I had already found several potential customers for my invention. But I was very optimistic about the directors' board who were travelling on the train last night.
Mr. Robinson, could you please clarify? Were you travelling alongside your prototype?
Yes, I was. But I had to step off the train. And all because of this stupid station master.
I received a telegram declaring that an important person, a Mr. Bromsby, wished to see you in the waiting room. I merely informed you of this.
Mr. Bromsby is a wealthy gentleman. His interest in my invention was truly unexpected. So yes, of course, I agreed to see him. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. I thought perhaps he might have been delayed, so I chose to wait a while. But despite my requests, the train left the station without me. Absolutely unacceptable.
The timetable is strict. We cannot wait any longer. The regulations require the train to be on time.
You are an idiot. You will pay for it. I will sue you.
This revolutionary machine of yours, was it very valuable?
For God's sake, sir, it is priceless. It could change the world we live in. And yet, I was selling it for almost nothing. I do not know if I will ever be able to get over this disaster. I cannot believe that it disappeared with that damn train.
You mentioned a director's board. Which company do they own?
The Chilean Barcazes Company. I had made an appointment with them. Now they are lost, along with the train and my prototype.
What do you know about the Barcazes Company?
It's a large South American company. They showed a great deal of interest in my prototype, and they seemed wealthy enough to do business with.
The ticket inspector forced all the passengers from the train except for the directors of the Barcazes Chilean Company.
Hello.
I will not move from here. I will not move from here until I receive my refund.
Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am investigating the unfortunate disappearance of last night's train.
I see. I'm Station Master Bertram, but my supervisor has not informed me about this. I do not know if...
Do not worry. I have only a few questions. Station Master Everett from Evesham told us that you reported a problem with some passengers last night.
Indeed. This train is a regular line for those who work at Nottingham. But yesterday, everyone was asked to get off the train here at my station. I've no idea why, and it delayed the train. But the worst of it is that now I have to deal with two furious passengers who are complaining about the company's service. They stayed here the whole night, but people do not usually pay much attention to the regulations, you see. There are very strict and clear rules. Paragraph 234 of Article 2G-43 states that in the event of a complaint, you must...
Yes, thank you. I understand. Apart from the passengers disembarking, did you notice anything else that was unusual last night?
I did. And I mentioned it in my report to our higher management on the matter.
What was it?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. The station master's reports are confidential.
Confidential, you say? How long have you been working here?
I've worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
Let me speak frankly, Mr. Bertram. Your age and your lack of confidence in your position are quite apparent. You cannot deny that you have only recently completed your studies.
I was at the top of my class.
Listen here, young man. I am aware that you wish to protect yourself behind all these regulations, but I represent the law.
And you are obstructing the investigation of an important case. I would suggest that you cooperate with Mr. Holmes. Think of your career.
Ah, that is... Well, I'll tell you everything. First of all, I scolded the ticket inspector, for it was he who asked the passengers to leave the train. It was not his right to do so. He was very rude. And then, later on, I received a most peculiar telegram from my colleague at Chesterfield Station, the next stop along the line.
What did the telegram say?
Well, that was the peculiar thing. It was almost unreadable. It was full of errors and awfully vague. It was hard to understand if the train had correctly passed that station or not. You can read it for yourself.
We ought to visit Chesterfield Station. We need to confirm if the station master saw the train or not.
How could he fall asleep at work like this? Excuse me, sir. Wake up. Ah, his breath. He must have swallowed half a distillery.
And that explains the how.
By his sleeping off the alcohol, you mean? Wake up, please, sir.
Huh? What? The 18 hours 72 train has arrived?
Good day to you. We are investigating the disappearance of last night's train, and we should like to ask you a few questions. Were there any passengers who got off that particular train at your station last night?
No, nobody, it seems to me. Although I did not leave my office, so...
No doubt you were very busy.
You don't say. You can't ever get any peace around here. Now you have to send a telegram each time a train arrives and departs.
Station Master Bertram from Bridlington showed me a strange telegram that he received from you last night. It concerned the train, but it was barely comprehensible.
What? He's a fastidious little twerp, that Bertram. I remember everything quite clearly. It was late, and I was tired, but I did my work. So what? There's no need to be so petty.
You were not tired, you were inebriated. Tell me the truth now, or I shall not hesitate to document your state in my report.
My friend means that you will end up by being sacked from your position.
All right. So I was drunk. I don't remember all of yesterday, to be truthful to you. Please don't go harsh on me.
Holmes, this man has consumed a considerable amount of alcohol. He's not entirely helpless yet, but...
It will not be long before he is. Obviously, his testimony cannot be trusted.
This bin is full of...
Locked. There is no sense in asking the station master to open it. We shall have to pick the lock. These tools were used quite recently. They are still muddy. We should ask about them. A handcar wheelbase. Interesting. It appears that elements of the same construction were scattered everywhere. Watson, please tell me, do you believe in magic?
Of course not, Holmes.
Then you are of the opinion that a train cannot simply
Merde, j'ai
disappear.
pas remis le micro.
Well, we both know that that is obvious. Why are you asking such peculiar questions?
A little
Je
patience,
disais, ouais,
Watson.
du coup,
You will
ben,
understand my point
on met
quite soon.
qu'il peut passer
So,
par Chesterfield,
are you quite
parce que là,
certain that you
il a dit qu'il
saw the
était
train
complètement
at
ivre,
Evesham
il se rappelait
Station?
pas.
Yes, of course. We saw it coming. The headlights, and heard the whistle.
But that is it. We didn't see the train itself.
But... Oh, Holmes, I'm a little confused.
En effet, er was dozijn.
I should use the appropriate object here. I should use the appropriate object here. I should use the appropriate object here.
Ben...
So, now here we have the fake train that we saw approaching Evesham Station last night.
Doesn't look much like a train to me.
Be patient, Watson. I haven't finished yet. Try using your imagination. Our train requires only a headlight and a steam whistle. We need to attach a headlight and a steam whistle. The long pole is now attached. It will allow us to connect the headlight. The headlight is attached. The steam whistle is now connected.
Holmes, what can we do to make the steam whistle work?
It is elementary, my dear Watson. We shall need a fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher. Now let us see what we have here. The steam whistle is ready to be used. Watson, I do believe that we have created an exact replica of the train that vanished in front of us last night. The criminal mind can be most inventive. I am somewhat in awe.
So, such a thing is possible. If someone went to all the trouble of creating this fake train, then it was surely with the intention of stealing the real one.
Ah, Watson, you should not jump to conclusions. In fact, this does not tell us very much at all, except that the train did not evaporate into thin air.
Although you half suspected it.
Huh. At any rate, we now need to find where the real train might be hidden. I suggest we use my archives to find a more detailed map of our surroundings.
Well, I hope that justifies our having to load your massive archive suitcase onto the cab. It made us extremely unpopular with our driver.
Voilà, bon bah écoutez, on va finir le live ici, puis on reviendra plus tard dans la nuit ou demain ou quoi. Allez, moi je vous dis bonne soirée, merci à ceux qui sont passés, et puis à la prochaine. Ciao tout le monde.